What's up, Pastor? What's up, my niggas? Hey, listen to me. I'm gonna do something unconventional for this particular recording. I'm here talking about forgiveness, but the first thing I think I want to address is a current event. That's something I don't usually fuck with. I don't keep up on all that gossip shit and what's going on in the world, but this is some shit that has to be addressed by all melanated people because it involves all of us. That's this Kanye West shit, or what's going on with Kanye West. Let me show you what you're looking at. Now, this is my opinion and my view and perspective on exactly what's going on with Kanye West. It ain't about Kanye West. It's about us. It's about melanated people. It's about some people from the common, ordinary nigga, even to the rich, successful entertainer, rapper, movie star, athlete, and what have you. We've been practicing talking shit about what has happened to us, what has continuously happened to us. Of course, you got some niggas saying ain't no such thing as systematic slavery, this and that. But it's ball game. It's game time now. Fuck them other niggas talking about it ain't no systematic slavery. Hey, fuck them niggas. What's going on with Kanye West? And the reason why I said that this ain't about Kanye West, this is about us. Y'all know, the people that's been watching my videos, I make no qualms, nor do I try to hide that I'm a 30-year motherfucking addict. I only been clean going on 8 years. I know motherfuckers have been clean 20, 25, 30 years. But during my drug addict career, I done took around 4 or 5 Rodney King ass whoopings from them young niggas trying to steal their dope. I done took around 4 or 5 Rodney King ass whoopings. I wore ass whooping like a 3-piece suit, like a tuxedo. Just like a tuxedo. I look good with an ass whooping. You follow what I'm saying? Fucking around trying to take them young niggas dope. But here's the point that I'm getting at. When I would get stomped out, the difference between my ass whooping and them young niggas stomping me out back in the day and Kanye's ass whooping and stomping that he's taking is this. When I was getting stomped out, them motherfuckers would stomp me, they'd be talking to me. Motherfucker trying to steal our motherfucking dope. But with Kanye, it's a little different. See, they stomping Kanye out, but they ain't looking at Kanye. As they stomping Kanye out, they looking at us. I'm gonna say it again. They stomping Kanye out, but they ain't looking at Kanye. They looking at all of us. As if to say, you niggas, keep y'all bitch ass in place. This is a bitch call. If we don't answer the bell, I don't give a fuck what our different views and opinions and outlook on entertainments or political issues or what have you. If we don't come together on this, motherfucker, we gonna be bitches for life. And I ain't talking about the rap song. Fuck niggas for life. We gonna be bitches for life. All this motherfucking talking that we be talking about, this injustice shit, coming off these police shootings. Y'all done lost y'all motherfucking mind. This ain't about Kanye. Kanye is the bait on the end of the fishing hook. What Kanye did is he brought the dragon out. The dragon went for the bait. Kanye drugged that motherfucker out. I don't give a fuck what you say about Kanye. Kanye is the bait. One thing I ain't gonna do as a black man is use Kanye because he done said some shit before that I didn't agree with. I ain't gonna use Kanye to cover up my bitchism that's in me. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. I ain't gonna use some shit that Kanye have did in the past because this ain't about Kanye. To cover up for my bitchism that's in me. That fear. That coward shit. This ain't about Kanye. We'll welcome the well-to-do nigga. We welcome the athletes, the entertainers, the rappers, and what have you. But this really ain't even about them. Even if they don't show up for the fight. This ain't about them. This is about every common, ordinary, melanated person walking on the face of this planet. Definitely in America. because this is fight night. Kanye is the bait. Like I said before, he done drugged the motherfuckers to the center of the ring. It's time, my nigga. And let me tell you why it's time. We can talk about banking, real estate, the government. You follow what I'm saying? We can talk about equality all we want. Getting together, you know what I'm saying? Consolidate this one black vote so we can bring power to the polls as one unity. We can talk about hospitals and all this shit. But if we can't come together on something like this, where it requires, you ready? No motherfucking money. This shit don't require no money. So niggas ain't got to worry about, like in church when they say tithes and offering, and then niggas get to grumbling up under their voice. Oh, no, motherfucker. You ain't even got to reach in your pocket on this one. And if you do reach in your pocket, motherfucker, you better be pulling out your car keys. You ain't even got to pull out no money for this. We don't even need no weaponry. We ain't even got to talk about getting violent. We ain't even got to be talking about, listen, we ain't even got to be talking about no motherfucking protesting. So you ain't got to worry about losing your job or what your non-melanated friends think of you. This requires, you ready? No talking. The only thing we saying as melanated people, the only thing that this particular event at hand requires from black people is when you put your hand in your pocket, motherfucker, don't come out with no motherfucking money. Now we should be able to feel that. This requires just 2 or 3 words out your mouth in unison as a unit, and that's this: fuck Nike and fuck Adidas. I'm gonna say it again. The only requirement from African Americans is to come together and say these 2 words and stand on them. Fuck Adidas and fuck Nike and every other business that has shunned Kanye West. Is you listening to me? That's what this is about. When we overcome this situation, watch this, overcome, it'll lunge us into the next experience. We can talk about banking, real estate, coming together to consolidate our vote, but we have to journey to that. Do you feel me? When you walk, you go from one place to the next, but you take steps. Is you with me? This event, when we overcome this as a unit, guess what it's going to do? It's going to eradicate some of that fear that's in us. Y'all don't understand what Louis Farrakhan represents. I don't give a fuck what you talking about he didn't do and all he did was make speeches. Okay, where the gorilla motherfuckers at now? Where the alpha dogs at now? Man, fuck them niggas. We gonna need the spirit of courage in the face of fear. We're gonna need the spirit of Louis Farrakhan, just like in scripture. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 15. When they called the entire law, all the rules and laws and commandments that God gave Moses, they summed it up into one word in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 15, and I somewhat quote. They called the law Moses. I mean, throughout scripture, they're going to say the law of Moses or the law of God or the commandments. But in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, they called the entire law Moses. In the book of Luke, in chapter 16, when Jesus gave the parable of the rich man and the poor man, Lazarus and Abraham, when Abraham told the rich man, they have Moses and the prophets. Moses was a representation. Listen, Moses was a representation of the law. Louis Farrakhan is a representation of the spirit of courage in the face of fear. While y'all talking about all he do is speeches, Farrakhan damn near 80, 90 years old. This ain't Farrakhan's time. This is our motherfucking time. Do you follow what I'm saying? Y'all don't know what Farrakhan represents. And for all these so-called wannabe leaders, see, ain't no leaders no more. That's that Old Testament shit. Farrakhan is our last great leader. Ain't no one motherfucker to lead us. And if he is, where he at? Where he at now? This is about us, my nigga. We don't need no motherfucker thinking for us. Not when a motherfucker stomping your family member out. You need some intellectual. A motherfucker who done read a bunch of books, some Claude Anderson or Thomas Sowell, and then they regurgitating the information to us like they thought of it. Man, get the fuck out my face. You let a motherfucker jump on your brother. You can have a family of 7, but there's always that one motherfucker that get into it with everybody in the house. But all of a sudden it's a block party on y'all street. And that one particular, sibling get into a fight and niggas jump on them. All you motherfuckers gonna react. Y'all gonna jump in there and help y'all brother, y'all sibling. That's how it is with Kanye West. And if you don't want to look at it from that particular perspective, think of it like this. Kanye is the bait that has brought the shark out to the middle of the ring. The motherfucker waiting for us. Because as they stomping Kanye, like I said earlier, they looking at us like, niggas, y'all better not move. This is a battle and a fight that requires, I repeat, no motherfucking money, no weapons, or no protests. It requires you taking your hand, putting it in your motherfucking pocket. And if you pull it out, you better have your car keys. Don't have no motherfucking money. Fuck Adidas and fuck Nike and any other business that has shunned our brother, Kanye West. This ain't about Kanye. This is really about us. Because you'll be surprised. You ready for this? All them so-called well-to-do niggas who we call Uncle Toms, sellouts. Watch this. See, y'all got it wrong. Y'all looking for these entertainers, rappers, and athletes to be the voice for us because they got money. No, nigga. Y'all got it wrong. If the rapper or the entertainer or the athlete, for the ones that do want to stand up, but they got fear in them just like we do. And they got a lot more to lose than us. Why you bullshitting? But if they see us stand up, then they know that when they go to open up their mouths, they got a backbone. They got a backbone behind them, which is us. I'm gonna say it again. These well-to-do niggas, some of them really want to speak up, but they full of fear, just like us. But once they see the ordinary common niggas stand up, now they know they got backing behind them. You gonna see a lot of other athletes and entertainers and well-to-do niggas speak up. We gonna have to pull this shit and watch them niggas join in. Y'all waiting for the rich motherfucking niggas to join. No, that ain't how it go. It don't take nothing for a nigga to say, and I reiterate, fuck Nike and fuck Adidas. Now let me get to my shit. Matthew chapter 6, verse 14. We talking about forgiveness. We talking about, listen to me. We talking about forgiveness. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 14, after Jesus had gave him the prayer, when he told his disciples, pray ye in this manner, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You know that prayer. And when he got to the very end and he said, amen, he went on, listen, he went on to verse 14. Remember, Matthew chapter 6, verse 14, and he said this. He said, Matthew chapter 6, verse 14, and I somewhat quote, trademark. He said, if you forgive men of their trespasses, God will forgive you of yours. And then he goes on to say in the next verse, but if you don't forgive men of their trespasses, God won't forgive you of yours. Let me show you what we're looking at in the importance of forgiveness. When somebody has wronged you, has done something to you, your mama, a motherfucking crackhead, you follow what I'm saying? And an alcoholic, always drunk. You and your sister come home, house all nasty and shit, niggas all in there, crack pipes everywhere. You follow what I'm saying? Y'all looking for something to eat, and your mama sleep drunk. Kitchen table all nasty. Motherfucker take a motherfucking dish rag out the motherfucking sink and wipe the table off. And then put a plate of some cold ass pork and beans or hot dogs in front of y'all. Your mama got a different boyfriend every motherfucking month. She gets drunk and fall asleep. And a motherfucker come in you and your sister's room and touch you. And then look at your sister and say, you better not tell nobody. Or one of your family members done raped you. Or you done went over their house to stay the night. Or your mama's boyfriend. Or one of your motherfucking aunts that did some sick shit to you. Or you was adopted. Your parents abandoned you. You have experienced a horrific act. That's just some of the shit I can name. And yet you grow up, you go to college and get your education. Read a bunch of books and shit. Talk all smart. Talking about you strong and you ain't survived shit. Because the thing, let me show you how this goes, is still in you. If I take a gun and put bullets in it, watch this, and shoot you, you ain't did shit, you innocent. You ain't did shit, you innocent. But I take the gun and shoot you. Now I loaded the gun with the bullets. I'm the center. I'm the center. You innocent. I take the gun and shoot you. Guess what's in you? Although it ain't your fault. Guess what's in you? The bullet. You ain't had nothing to do with this shit. But that doesn't negate the fact that the bullet is in you. It's not your fault that a motherfucker did something to you. But it doesn't negate the fact, motherfucker, that the thing, the sin that was committed against you, motherfucker, has left sin in you. That motherfucker is alive. Why you think it says in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, catch the language of the Bible, motherfucker. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous, motherfucker. This book is formulated and constructed how your rap music is, in metaphor and allegorical speech. Is you with me? Talk about this, the white man's book. Now all you smart motherfuckers who read all them, black books and economic books and Dr. Sabians and all that and breaking the Constitution down. The reason why you label this the white man book, I'm gonna tell you why you label this the white man book. You say this is the white man's book. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can't break some of these codes down and these allegories and metaphors. You can't break the code down. And since you used to receiving your information, from the direct result of what a book says right here, read this, read this, read this, read this, and then you'll memorize it and then regurgitate it. Some niggas like they thought of it because they want to appear to be smart. So when they come to the Bible and it starts talking in mysteries and riddles and metaphorical, allegorical, speech, and they can't break it down, they shy away from it because they can't be the smartest motherfucker in the room. But I'm saying, listen, I'm saying through your music, your brains have been formulated through rap music, motherfucker. The younger generation, your brains have been formulated and structured and prepared to understand, listen to me, to understand some of these riddles. To go in there and break down some of these, you ain't got to be no motherfucking man of God, to go in there and break down some of these metaphors and allegorical speech. You motherfuckers talk like that on a daily basis. Looking at these motherfucking pastors around this motherfucker like they special. Motherfucker, I can Eric Scissorhands this Bible, and I know I ain't no man of God. Is you with me? Y'all looking up to these motherfuckers like they special. These bitches ain't special. From the European teachers that they receive, you got me fucked up. Y'all looking at y'all pastors like they special. Men and women of God. No, the fuck they ain't. Like I said, I know I ain't no man of God. But I'm gonna fuck over this Bible, though. Like you never heard it before, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? We talking about forgiveness. The thing is in you. Is you listening to me? The thing It's in you. Just like if you go to a movie theater, you know the shit that you're watching on the screen. You know what I'm saying? You know it's make-believe. You know what I'm saying, baby? The shit that they watching on the screen, you know when you go to the movie, the shit that you're watching is make-believe. Is you with me? But it still doesn't negate the fact that although you know that shit ain't real up on that screen, you still are going to go through an emotional roller coaster. Happy, sad, scared, joy. You're going to experience all those emotions in watching some shit that you know ain't real. It's the same way with that thing as it replays that event. Especially if especially if the motherfucker that did it to you, you're still constantly around him. Is you with me? So that replaying of that event sends you on an emotional roller coaster on something that happened 20 years ago. You'll bring it to the present, and you're still experiencing that emotional roller coaster, that in which that will shape your attitude and give you a fucked up disposition. Although you got a college degree, although you got a good job, but you might be fucking over your children. Or you cannot have a long-lasting, sustaining relationship. Or you just a fucked up human being, but you got a good job though. That's how we measure. That's how we measure our success here in their kingdom. If you can make money, or if you can get a job, and you got more than your siblings, or more than the next motherfucker that you know, then you're a success. That's how we do as niggas. Do you follow what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you, listen, we're going to start off with Ephesians. Follow me closely. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 18. Yeah, get there. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 18. Follow me. And I somewhat quote, trademark, and I somewhat quote. It says, having their understanding darkened. Darkened? What you mean, God? Watch this. Having their understanding darkened. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 18. We're talking about forgiveness. We started with Matthew chapter 6, verse 14. Now I'm sending you to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 18. Having their understanding darkened. Being alienated from God. Damn. Yeah, it's fucked up. You being alienated from God because of your understanding is darkened. Having their understanding darkened, being alienated from God. Now all this come about through ignorance that is in them, that blinds or put blindness upon their heart. I'm going to reiterate. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 18. Slowly. Catch the language. Having their understanding darkened. Being alienated, separated from the life of God through ignorance. All this shit is the result of ignorance that is in them. Ignorance is in you. A lack of understanding. A lack of understanding and knowledge. Through ignorance, which brings about blindness of their heart. Having their understanding darkened. How do we get there? Don't forget, we're still talking about forgiveness and that thing that's in you that creates images. Do you follow me? Watch this. Having their understanding darkened. Watch this. We might want to go to Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Exodus. We got to understand how this shit became dark. How did my understanding become darkness? How did my understanding become darkness? Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. And I somewhat quote. When God was giving Moses his rules, laws, and commandments, the very first one, check this one out. The very first commandment that God gave Moses was this. Have no other God before me. Have no other God. What you mean, God? What God was saying was that the first law that I give you, all the other laws springboard from that. What you mean, God? Let me explain it to you. Have no other God before me. Now don't forget, we're talking about that thing that's in you. That thing that's been done to you. Somebody sinned against you. But it doesn't negate the fact that you didn't do nothing wrong. Somebody came in your bedroom and did some sick, twisted shit to you. But it doesn't negate the fact that the thing that they did to you is in you. Although you didn't do nothing. That motherfucker in you. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3, motherfucker. Have no other God before me. Freeze. Baby, if me and you go to the theater, right? Mm-hmm. If me and you go to the theater and there's 6 couples in front of us, right? Yeah. So obviously there's 6 couples that got there before us, right? So if they're if they got there before us, they are in front of us. You with me? Mm-hmm. So what you can do, or what we're gonna do, is interchange the word before with in front. Because if you before me, you in front of me. Am I correct? Watch this. Have no other God before me. Have no other God before me. Have no other God in front of me. Have no other God in front of me. Have no other God in front of me. Have no... Motherfucker, you blocking the spirit. Did you catch it? God is the light. Light represents wisdom and understanding. This thing that's in you produces image. Remember, listen, it produces images. Remember I told you? You can't have an image in the mirror if you're not there for the image or to bring the image about. You can't have an image in the mirror. You have to be present to be able to bring an image about in the mirror. If you're having strange, twisted images in your mind, it has to be something there that produces that image. Is you with me? That thing that was done to you creates images. When you start paying attention and entertaining, you saying, well, I ain't gonna act on it. Just because I'm thinking about it, I ain't gonna act on it. But it sends you, like watching a movie, through a emotional roller coaster. When the thing appears in your psyche, in your spirit, in your soul, and you give it your attention, a minute, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you just want to stay in the house that night with all the lights off, playing music, or just sit in the darkness, you call it motherfucking depression. What you're doing is you're playing audience to it. You worshiping it. The only motherfucker you supposed to worship is God. And any motherfucking God that you worship, you will soon serve. When you play audience, you're worshiping this thing, this image. And you only supposed to worship God. And since you're worshiping this thing, you turn it into a God. And since it's really not God, you're worshiping a motherfucking idol. And they talking about the Old Testament and in play. See, y'all don't understand the riddles of this shit. Y'all don't understand the allegories and the metaphors, smart motherfuckers. Or even you pastors. Y'all don't understand this shit. Talking about the Old Testament ain't in play. Who the fuck said that? This thing has become an idol, a God. That's why God says, have no other God before me. Have no other God in front of me. Now you blocking the spirit. Now you blocking the light. That's why it says in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 18, their understanding is darkened. And as a result, you're alienated from the life of God. Through what? Through motherfucking ignorance. You don't know what the fuck going on. You think you strong. Oh, yeah, this happened to me, man, but I got it. Bitch, you ain't got over shit. You ignorant to this shit. You ignorant to this shit. That's part one, motherfucker. Part 2 coming up.